Hello everyone, PraiseScooter here, and welcome back to more Ocarina of Time. Last time, well, we finished up the trade quest after going to a very cold place, and now, it's been 3 days. We get the Biggeron sword. This is the blade, this is your reward for finishing the trade quest. Now, for a little bit, I'll use it, but I'm not going to keep it on because it kind of cheapens the entirety of the game. But basically, at this point, you now have a choice. Do you want to block, or do you want to do damage? So, I don't know if it's just how the coding works, but at this point, you have, what is it? You have 4, this is like 4 units of damage. So, that's 4, that's 8, and if I can do it. And that's another 8. See, that was that. I can remember how to play this tune. I remembered how to play the tune. Oh god. You don't know how much I was over here sweating bullets. Like, oh god, I'm gonna mess up the song. So that was the end of the trade quest. Now we're not going to go into the next temple right this second. We have a little bit left to go. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. We basically want to head back to the old man researcher's hut because he's going to have one more gold Skulltula for us in there. And it'll actually also allow me to give you a bit of a buffer on It'll allow for me to give you a bit of a buffer on the mechanic we're going to be struggling against and playing with the majority of this dungeon coming up. It just suddenly was daytime. So, for one, we've already done half of this guy's requisite quests in that we needed to touch the bottom in order to get a piece of heart. Well, first things first though. I'm going to put an empty bottle on this button. But the other thing he'll want is for you to get to the bottom. This, you can also cheese this a little bit, but to get to the bottom. Also, hi Shark. Now I want you to look at the menu on the secondary screen and go, hey, wait, sword's not a thing, but your hookshot is. So welcome to what this dungeon is going to be. It's going to be playing around with the hookshot underwater. Now, if you do this dive and then you go up and talk to him and say, hey, I touched the bottom, he'll say, that's cheating. In fact, does he say it right now? I would call it, yeah, he'll just call you a cheater. So, yeah. Also, that was 6 feet? How small is Link? Now, now I know for some of this temple coming up here, you can cheese it, and you can actually activate and get into a lot of this temple without the boots. And in fact, you can actually do a lot of this temple without. You can actually do a lot of this temple without even. You can actually do a lot of this temple without even having the Zora's tunic. You can, as long as you have enough hearts, you don't even have to have the Zora's tunic to do this. But because it's me and I'm doing a walkthrough and I'm going to be sitting here explaining things and whatnot, I'm going to need to have the Zora's tunic. Also, the water temple. The water temple. This dungeon is the bane of many a young Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time player. Why, might you ask? Because it is confusing, it's convoluted. Oops. Tech, please. I somehow went to swing my sword and I missed. It's confusing, it's convoluted, it makes very little sense, and I believe Grezzo kept this place the exact same. Now I'm just gonna walk around here. I'm gonna survey my surroundings because I do want to remind you guys, I haven't played Ocarina of Time in several years. I've seen many others play it, but I've never played it myself. So there is a very likely chance that I'm gonna get lost. But even in that vein, I'm still going to try my best to not get lost. Try being the key word here. Okay, this doesn't push, so we have to leave it there. And proceed down this wine. Nope, this is a backdoor entrance to someplace. Fair enough. So I believe our next step of attack is actually to dive underwater. So I guess you can't quite get away with not using the iron boots. Maybe I'm wrong on this. I don't know. I swear I've seen people get around this without the iron boots. Anyway, take your boots, go down. And whatever button you want it on, make sure you have that hook shot ready. Because it's going to be your only means of combat for this entire temple. See, so that path's open. Oh, they did make it a little bit nicer to newer players. Anyway, I'm going to do a quick explore. I don't know if there's much I can do down here. I'm pretty sure there is nothing I can do down here. I think I can get up at this button. But I don't think I can clear this. Correct. So I'm just knocking things off a checklist, even though I'm pretty much gonna be done with this recording session after. Today is like I know this is the I think the 28th, no 29th episode that goes up. Also, we can't do anything here. Well, yeah, we can't do anything here because we can't bring out the Megaton hammer. But I'm gonna try and like make a mental checklist of what's going on here, so that way when we do have to come back here, I can come back and handle it more handily. Unfortunately, I will also forget what's going on here. And hi. Oh, you, if I'm right, Link? Ruto? You're Link, aren't you? No. It's me, your fiancé, Ruto, Princess Azora's. Alright, I'll accept my fate now. I never forget the vows we made to each other 7 years ago. You're a terrible man that kept me waiting for these 7 long years. But now it's not the time to talk about love. I'm sure you've already seen it. Zora's domain, totally frozen. A young man named Sheik saved me from under the ice. But my father and the other Zoras have not yet. I want to save them all. I want to save the Zora's domain. Save the Zora's domain, by the way. You have to help me. This is a request from me, the woman who's going to be your wife. Link, you have to help me destroy the evil monster in the temple, okay? Inside the water temple, there are 3 places in which you can change the water level. I'll lead the way. Follow me. So Grezzo made it a little more obvious where these 3 switches are, I've noticed, with the decals on the wall and the very bright neon things here that kind of help guide you along. But I'm still not all with it. Also, that's gonna be a bane of my existence. Anyway. Also, unlike me, you're gonna have to remember how to play the lullaby. But before we do that, let's head into this room. Ugh. Like I said, your hookshot's gonna become your best means of attacking, even when you're not what is it? Even when you're not in water, your hookshot's gonna effectively become your sword. You can still use your sword, but it's gonna become your sword. Also, I do know there are a couple little cheeky things you can do around here. I think this is one. No, it's not. I know you can shoot some of the wall murals in order to get. You can shoot a few of the wall murals around here to get additional bonuses. I don't know which wall murals are which, so cut me a little slack on that for not knowing exactly what we're dealing with. Anyway. Well, we have the map. Still don't know where I am. Anyway. You know, I tried. I really did try. The sad part is, once I'm done playing this game, I'm still gonna have the melodies from the Ocarina from the N64 version burned into my head. I'm not gonna have the melodies from this version. Now, what I'm gonna need you to remember this ledge for later. Well, not this one. I'm gonna need you to remember that ledge from when we find water level 2 and trying to come back in here because we're gonna need it anyway. Hey, look. Shooting arrow through fire. It puzzle. If you don't want to do this puzzle, you can just use Din Fire to light them both. And I know I have in the past. But, I mean, we'll take what we can get. Also, these enemies. If I could target the right one, thank you. I'm just gonna use the sword to circumvent it. But yeah, the Bigoron sword, kind of amazing. Especially for somebody like me that doesn't really deal with, you know, blocking a lot. Like, I tend not to block. Nope, not that one. I tend not to block a lot in games. So, the Bigoron sword is going to help me a lot. Anyway, that's all locked up. The lamps are off, but thankfully we never have to go back into that room. Now we have a key. But we also have several other rooms we can go in. Now I'm gonna test my theory right here and now of if the Megaton Hammer replaces your bombs. Once again, from the top. No, it does not. Well, Megaton Hammer, isn't that sad? You were useful for a period, and now you're not. But yeah, other than, like, you know, I will say, just right off the bat, like, other than the guide I've got here to help me hunt down all the gold Skulltulas, I've got nothing to help me, man. I have nothing helping me as we speak right now to keep me on the straight and narrow, so to say, to keep me going through a dungeon. I'm not looking up guides on how to get through this place. I'm just kind of going. Anyway, goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, we had to switch. Well, there's a gold Skulltula. I guess we need to get a gold Skulltula. I'll jump at it, sure, why not? Now, does your thing... One of these is going to do it. And when that moment happens, I'm going to feel vindicated. Anyway, I don't believe this actually raised the water level in the main room. Or, sorry. I don't believe this actually raised the water level in the main area. I think it just raised it up for that subsection. But we never have to come down in this subsection ever again. Case in point. Anyway. Now I want you to imagine going through this temple and having to stop. And having to stop every 30 seconds to a minute to equip the iron boots by going to, not that menu. By going to this menu, scrolling through everything, pressing A in the iron boots to equip them, coming out of this menu, doing what you need to do with the iron boots, going back in this menu, pressing A in the iron boots again to unequip them. That was the N64 Ocarina of Time experience. How that got past quality checkers, I have no idea, man. Well, not going to use a key. I'm keeping up this trend of not using a key for as long as I can. The Fire Temple taught me well. Anyway, I think... Let's do this. Now, there's a Tektite across the way that I'm a little leery of. But, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to handle that. I'm trying to think. Is there anything we can do in this room? I think we can do stuff in this room, actually. Also, there is a current in this room. Just to keep you all aware of that. Anyway, okay, so there's that. So we want to keep our boots on and hookshot over to there. This is also on a timer, by the way, so just ignore the enemies for a minute. Ignore the clam enemies for half a minute just to get in here. Because if you don't, you'll get trapped in there. One of these times, I'll be told I'm not a fool. Anyway. I believe this chest is going to be another key. And this is why we don't use keys. And this is why we just swing around the Bigoron sword. Unga bunga! Anyway, I'm going to just... not deal with this game's this room's gimmick. Anyway, we're done in this room now. Right? Oh no, there's an exit from somewhere else up there. So we'll be dipping into this room later. Anyway, hi. Me pushing the left trigger button is starting to become an issue. I don't know if it's just because I have a lot of issues. This is an issue I had with my original DS back in the day. But I don't know if this is just a problem with me playing games or if it is specifically the 2DS that I'm using and how I have to hold my hands to play it. But this L button is not working. I'm holding L's on this L button. Did that make sense? Probably not. Anyway, turn around, grab that. Make sure you grab it near the top if you can, because it'll just slide right back down if you don't. And I believe we've been... This is the room we first went in and I went, yeah, we can't do anything in this room. Okay. So we've now done everything around the outside. Now we haven't been able to raise the water level yet. So at this point, we're going to want to go to the central tower. I like how I call it a central tower. We're going to go in the central tower and do some things in it as soon as I figure out which way is the entrance. There it is. But it's also why you want to have multiple keys. Now, in this room, I will tell you right now, in this room there is a... I think I have to go this way. In this room there is a gold Skulltula. We can't get it. At least not right now. Ah, this is what I'm after. Right, this. This, just teach me the buttons, man. I'm not gonna try. So that's water level 2 now, and I think we can... Oh, we can't leave this room that way. But we can now go down there. And the game makes sure to pull the camera around to show you specifically that you can go in there. Thank you, game. We're gonna go that way, actually. Also, I hear you. But yeah, we're gonna go that way, actually. Because I'm remembering that, you know, I'll have to remember that, yeah, that switch is, it's at water level 2, so we can use it for things coming up, but I'm gonna go this way for now, because... Okay, there's enemies in here. Prepare your butt. There's several enemies in here, and we do have to defeat them in order to progress forward. Okay, hold on, can you... Thank you. I want to get the rock creatures all the way first. You. And you. Again, fighting things with the hookshot, not that bad. It's just that it's weird to go from sword swinging to use only ranged weaponry. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is actually... If I recall, this is actually one of the things I didn't catch as a kid that stumped me for so long in this temple. One of these times. This is actually one of the things that stumped me as a kid, just because I didn't think, oh, what if I went down, what if I went underneath that block that is clearly a wood block? It doesn't look like wood in the N64 version, so it didn't click for me that, oh, it's a wood block. Also, I was a dumb kid, so what, wood floats in water? That's impossible. Which is even more degrading when I think about it now, considering my father is a construction manager and I have handled my fair share of lumber in my time alive. Yikes. Anyway, we're locked out of there. But we're going to try, keyword try, we're going to try and loop back around to the low water, or the water level 1 room. I like how I went the wrong way for it too, by the way. We're going to loop back around here because I think there is something we can get in this room now that the water level is at the 2nd stage. I remember this very clearly because this is something very important. It's not just a, oh, haha, one-off thing. It is a very important item for this dungeon. I just don't remember what it is. Can I try that again? There we go. It's another key, isn't it? You bet your sweet bippy it is. Also, these designs are... One of these times. I swear, it's gonna happen. These designs on the... Those designs are actually a lot more intricate than they were in the N64 version. They were just kind of gray blob masses. I like how I'm comparing a lot of stuff in this to the N64 version without a reference point. I don't think I'll ever... Maybe if I feel like torturing myself, quote-unquote torturing myself, if I feel like torturing myself, maybe I'll do a stream play of Ocarina of Time in the future. But that's not here now. Also, this. Hold on. This is something we're going to handle later on. It's nothing we can deal with right now. So just remember it for later. Now, I'm going through everything that isn't the way forward at the moment, because I want to make sure I get everything handled I can. So basically, not using keys, going ways I'm quote-unquote not supposed to go, all that jazz. Oh yes, this one. I like I say, oh yes, this one. Now this just requires you to... You can use your hook shot or the bow, but hit the switch over there. Okay, I guess you have to use your bow. Hit the switch over there. It'll open up this chest long enough for you to get at it. I'm on the wrong side of it. It'll make this chest available long enough for you to get at it. Apparently I was on the wrong side of it. I was on the right side of it. What? Game, really? Sorry, I'm like craning my arm very uncomfortably to get this. Open the chest. I'm mad. Thankfully I've got the big quiver, so I can waste some arrows. Thank you. God damned. Yes, I can switch my anger in dumb ways. And compass, very necessary for me and my tiny brain. Anyway. Well, with that, we can actually head back out to the central area of this place. And I'll say, until next time, everybody, when we play more Ocarina of Time, we're going to head into the only locked door we can see, this one, and see how much more of this temple we can accomplish. I'll see you folks then. Take care. This is Tech Deck coming.